What's up, guys? Welcome to my new series, reading Why Destroy When You Hate It, my book on Wattpad. Now, today I'm looking at getting through at least the first 5 chapters, maybe, only because of how short they are. So, yeah, it's really popular, as you can see. So, here's a little description I put on the cover. When a skeleton is pulled from their AU as it gets deleted, what will become of them? They become Error, the forced god of destruction. Now, this is in first-person point of view, with Error, present tense. So, here we go. Chapter 1. Error. When monsters hear that name, they think destruction. And they're right. At least, for one skeleton. I'm Error, forced god of destruction. This is my story. Right now, I'm in the Anti-Void. It's my home. I can't remember ever having an AU to call home. All I remember is my job and the hateful voices that come with living in the Anti-Void. Right now, I'm knitting a puppet of Blue. He's Underswap Sans. He's one of my only friends. You're probably thinking something along the lines of, how could a god of destruction create, right? I knew it. Again. I'm the forced god of destruction. Ink is my counterpart. He's Inktail Sans, the creator. He creates all of the AUs and lives in the Doodlesphere. But enough about that. The voices are screaming at me again. Welp, what do they want this time? Useless. Go out and destroy. Stop creating. You aren't allowed to create. Shut up! I mentally reply as I finish the puppet. I'm due to visit Outertail soon. I love stargazing, but enough about me. You still haven't learned about the others. Ink has no soul. Normally, a soulless monster dies. The soul is the essence and very being of a monster. No soul means the monster should be dead. Ink wears a sash with paint vials. At first glance, they seem like harmless paint he uses in his creation. Wrong. The vials help him feel emotions, and what they do is color-coded as well when he uses Broomy. Ugh, that brush. Red means burning. Blue means ice. Purple means chains. Black is normal. Light blue is these weird saw-like things, and that's it. Blue may seem sweet and innocent, but he is powerful. We became friends after I kidnapped him and brought him to the Anti-Void, but later released him. Stretch, Underswap Papyrus, hasn't trusted me around Blue ever since. Blue has all the attacks of a normal Sans, and so does Stretch. The only difference for Blue is he has a giant hammer that looks like a Gaster Blaster and acts like a Gaster Blaster. Dream is the guardian of positivity and one of the Star Sanses. Blue is a Star Sans, and so is Ink. Back on topic. Dream uses a bow that, in its passive form, is a staff and uses his magic to create positivity arrows. These arrows really hurt considering I'm a negativity-filled monster. Comes with the job, I guess. Nightmare is a goopy skeleton. He won't tell the bad Sanses why, and we respect that. We're all a family, but I spend most of my time in the Anti-Void where I can knit my puppets without being interrupted. Nightmare uses the tentacles on his back to attack others and is the leader of the gang. Horror comes from Horrortail. He has a giant axe and is a little bit cannibalistic because there was no food in his AU. Ink never created any and never let Horror take any to his AU. How could a creator be so mean to his creations? Simple. Ink can't really feel, so he can't feel regret for making certain AUs suffer. Killer doesn't have any weapon and uses the normal skeleton attacks. I don't know the AU he came from nor his backstory. He won't tell us. Dust comes from Dusttail. He went insane from the human there, killing Dusttail Papyrus over and over and over again. He uses skeleton attacks like all Sanses do, but he can go crazy in battle due to his immense amounts of LV, which is love, level of violence. Cross comes from Crosstail. He uses X-Tail. He uses a giant knife as well as skeleton attacks and is accompanied by Crosskara, who can take control of his body from time to time. We're all misunderstood, but nobody bothers to hear us out. I guess that comes with being a bad Sans. Oh well, someone just used a portal and got in, so I have to deal with them. Just great. So that was chapter 1, and here is chapter 2. Yes, one of the voices is mean. That's the only mean one you'll find in this chapter. That's really mean. Okay, chapter 2. Ugh, this is annoying. Fel was the one that came to visit. Fel is under Fel's hands. He later changes his nickname to Red. His brother is Boss, as Fel calls him. He's under Fel Papyrus. Fel said he had recently joined the gang. Good for him. The voices are being even more annoying. Go die. Destroy something. Don't just sit there. You should portal into the void. No one will miss you. Error, are you even listening, I hear Fel say. Yeah, I'm listening, I reply. I watch as Fel goes to leave, but right at that moment, the 90s nightmare, Fresh, comes and causes Fel to land on me in surprise. My happophobia kicks in and I crash. Is he gonna be okay? Fresh asks. You just made Error crash, you idiot, Fel says as he shoos Fresh back the way he came. Error.exe has crashed. Commencing reboot. 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%, 70%, 80%, 90%, 100%. Reboot complete. My head is pounding as I open my eyes. When my vision, which is supposed to be eye sockets, that was my bad. When my vision clears, I notice I'm in Nightmare's mansion. Fel must have brought me here. It's the only way I could have left the anti-void. But why did he take me here? All I did was fall asleep. Right? Ah, you're awake, I hear someone say. Ah! I scream in surprise. My voice glitching like mad and error signs are in front of my eyes, me nearly crashing. That was supposed to be allies. Take it easy. It's me, Dust, Dust says. I slightly relax, hearing that the person is Dust. How did I get here? I ask as my glitching slightly calms down. Fel walks in the room and notices I am glitching badly. Fresh decided it would be a good idea to sneak up on me, and I fell on you because I got scared and tripped and you crashed, so I brought you here. Not again. Yeah, his thought thing changes after a little bit. And we gotta go through an ad. You know what? I'll let you hear it. Maybe. It's probably really quiet, but it's basically an ad that I'm gonna skip as soon as possible. There we go. Okay, chapter 3. It's been a solid 2 months since I was in Nightmare's castle. Well, mansion. Ink had gone on a creating spree, and I had to destroy twice as many AUs a day and return to the anti-void with twice as many injuries and new scars. I couldn't even visit Blue or Outer Tail anymore. I was avoiding coming here for a reason, I say as I try to calm down so my glitching will. It says come for some reason, but it should say stop. Nightmare approaches me, and I know I'm probably in trouble. I feel a tentacle pick me up in panic, nearly crashing as my happophobia kicks in. Surprisingly, Nightmare is holding me gently and not crushing me. That's probably why I haven't crashed yet. Why do you have so many new scars? I hear Nightmare ask as I try to stop myself from having a panic attack. I fail and start shaking, my bones making a rattling sound as I shake in fear. Nightmare notices and puts me back on the couch. I hear someone coming to me, but I curl up in a ball and hide my face as I use my strings to enclose myself in a big yarn ball. Well, magic string ball, I should say. Someone call Blue. He's the only one who can touch Error when he's like this, I hear someone say. I just curl up further and begin crying. Okay, open a portal for me. I'm on my way, Blue says as he hangs up the phone and steps through the portal. I hear a portal open, but I ignore it as I make the ball of my string tighter. I can hear someone trying to break through. It scares me, so I grab the soul of the person and make my ball of string even thicker. I hear the sound of magic, and now someone is in the ball of magic strings. I know whoever it was teleported in here, so I make a second ball of string surrounding the couch. Whoever that person is isn't getting near me. Not if I can help it. I continue shaking and crying and notice an extra weight on the couch. I would use my magic, but I'm too drained from my panic attack, which is still going on, and using my magic to protect myself. Something starts rubbing my back, and I flinch as I glitch slightly and error signs pull my vision. I feel the person stop rubbing my back and whimper. That was actually comforting, and the error signs were disappearing, and I was starting to be able to see again. Blue continues rubbing my back and watches as I start relaxing and calming down. After hearing my whimper, he knows all I need is comfort, and he's willing to provide it. Error, look at me, he says softly. I shakily open my eyes and raise my head to look at him. My vision is blurred from my tears, but I still recognize him. Blue? I ask, my voice glitching out severely. That's my name, Error. Don't overuse it, Blue says as he grabs a handkerchief and wipes the tears off of my skull. I'm done crying, but I'm still shaking. Nightmare didn't mean to scare you, Error. He was just worried about you, Blue says. My shaking calms down a bit, and I curl up with my head on Blue's lap. My vision blurs slightly as I yawn a little. You can go to sleep, Error. We won't let ink hurt you, Blue says. I only nod as my vision blurs completely from exhaustion as I close my eyes and fall asleep, something I haven't done in a long time. The 2 balls of string disappear, and so do the strings on Dust's soul. Nightmare goes to approach the couch to speak, but Blue shakes his head no and points to me. Nightmare seems to get the message and backs off, knowing I need this rest. I promised him we would protect him from ink, Blue begins. That means we have to be on the lookout. Suddenly, Cross bursts in the room. Ink is here! He thinks Error kidnapped Blue! Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. What's gonna happen next? Well, lucky you get to find out this video, because I promised 5 chapters. Chapter 4. Nightmare growls at the fact Ink is here. Blue, go hide with Error. Don't let him wake up unless Ink attacks you. Those scars don't look good, and we can't have him getting hurt. Blue nods and teleports to the 3rd floor of the mansion. He carries Error to the bedroom on the floor and sets him on the bed. I'm asleep, but I can feel myself moving. I feel myself get placed on something soft and attempt to crack one eye socket open to see where I am. I hear someone move to me, and then I feel a hand rub my spine. I relax, and everything fades as I go into a deeper sleep. Blue sighs in relief as Error falls asleep again. He's scared that Ink will come into the room, so he summons his Gaster Blaster hammer. Ink flings red paint at Cross and watches as Cross finally passes out. He repeats the process with Dust, Killer, and Horror until the only one left is Nightmare. Where's Blue in the glitch, he asks. Nightmare dodges the purple paint that gets spun at him, but he's getting tired. I'm not telling you. You'll only hurt Error when he's done nothing wrong, he says. Ink teleports behind Nightmare and hits the pressure point on his neck, causing Nightmare to pass out. He then teleports to the 3rd floor and is met with Blue standing guard in front of a closed door. Blue, what are you doing here? He demands. Protecting Error from you, Blue replies as he fires a beam of energy from his Gaster Blaster hammer. Ink dodges but doesn't attack. Why are you protecting that glitch? Did the Bad Santas brainwash you? He yells as he fires normal ink at Blue. No! Blue shouts back as he dodges the ink. I came on my own after they called me saying Error needed my help. He shouts as he summons a bone attack and throws it at Ink. Ink dodges the bone attack and chains Blue up with purple ink. Sorry, Blue. I just can't believe you, he says as he knocks Blue out. I hear someone burst in the room, but I don't want to wake up. This is the first time I've gotten to sleep in who knows how long. Get up, Glitch, Ink says. I ignore the voice and just bury myself in the blankets. Whoever this person is can wait. Right now, I'm enjoying my chance to sleep. Ink growls in frustration and whacks Error across the skull with Broomy. I awake with a start as I feel something hit my skull. Marrow and blood drips down a fresh crack on my skull. I summon my strings and see Ink in front of me. Hey, Squid, I say. Why did you kidnap Blue? Ink demands. I stay silent. Answer me! Ink yells as he fires red ink at Error. I dodge and tie Ink up in my strings. I was found passed out by the gang, and when I woke up, Nightmare scared me and I had a panic attack, so they called Blue to help me calm down, and I had finally fallen asleep, which I usually don't get to do, when you decided to show up. And why should I believe you? Ink yells. I open a portal to Underfell number 124. Because I'm telling the truth, I say as I throw him in the portal. Now to tend to the others. Aww. Poor Bad Santas. Poor Blue. They did nothing wrong. Man, Ink is mean. Okay, chapter 5, the final chapter. I sigh as I undo Blue's chain so I can treat his wounds. The others are all still knocked out in the living room and have already been treated. Nightmare's tentacles are actually fully limp and relaxed, probably from being forcefully knocked out. After putting Blue in the living room on the third couch, why we have 6 couches in there, I don't know, I sit on the 5th couch. I pull out my knitting needles and some of my string. I can make my string change color, but that's only what I'm knitting, as it changes color for whatever design I'm going for. And here Ink was thinking I could only destroy and couldn't create. I'm proving him wrong. About a half hour later, I finished the scarf I made for Nightmare. I'm making everyone's scarves and I'm starting with Nightmare. I know his goop may cover it, but I don't care. The scarf is black, but towards the end of the scarf it gradually becomes purple. There are purple swirls in the black part and black swirls in the purple part. Even though Nightmare is black because of the goop covering him, the scarf still stands out because at the very edge of the perimeter of the scarf, I put some blue that matched his eyes. Well, light. I set Nightmare's scarf beside me and get to work on Blue's. Blue's scarf is pretty simple. It's a light blue that fades to white with light blue stripes in the middle. I look at the old grandfather clock and realize I spent an hour making Blue's scarf. Now, it hasn't actually been a half hour or an hour or even 15 minutes. Aer's sense of time is extremely screwed up because of the fact he's lived in the anti-void for so long. He has practically no sense of time at all. So what can seem like an hour to him is actually a half hour. What seems like a half hour is actually 15 minutes, or it can be 5, it can be just something random. So, yeah. I put down my knitting needles and teleport to the bathroom and grab some bandages. I teleport back to the living room and change everyone's bandages. It takes a half hour to do Nightmare's because his goop had hardened over the edges of the bandages. After all of the bandages have been changed, I make a scarf for Dust. Dust's scarf is blood red with purple stripes, and the end of the scarf is gray. I set his aside and get to work on crosses. I can make clothes pretty fast, so each scarf only takes me about 15 minutes. That's obviously not true because of his messed up sense of time, so I was just doing random time estimates here. Cross has a more complex scarf. His scarf is white and fades to red at the end. In the middle of the scarf is his soul. Half of the soul is gray and half of the soul is red. I also put some purple in a circle around the soul to represent Cross Kara. I yawn as I set the scarf to the side. Knitting is the only thing that helps me fall asleep, but I never have time to sleep, usually because Ink is always creating. He'll have to recover, though. I fractured some of his bones when I grabbed him with my strings, and I could even see a pretty nasty crack on his skull. There's a high chance that'll scar. I'm working on Killer Scarf, which is going to be black with a red target symbol, his soul in the middle, and will fade to white when the world goes sideways before going black. Time skip brought to you by Gorfisk. Nightmare could hear groaning as he woke up. What happened? Why are we all in the living room? Wait, Ink and the Star Stanzas. But who patched us up? He thinks as he looks around the room. He sees Cross, Blue, Dust, Horror, and Killer on the other couches looking around the room. He looks at the 5th couch and notices a shape on the couch, but he can't see who it is. Killer? Who's on the 5th couch, he asks. Killer looks before he replies. It's Error, boss, he says. Nightmare gets up and walks over to me. He sees the knitting needles in my hands and the scarves beside me and immediately comes to a conclusion. He must have patched us up and started knitting scarves for us, but fell asleep before he could finish. Why do you overwork yourself so much, Error? And there we go! The first 5 chapters of Why Destroy When You Hate It. Now, yes, please don't be mad, but literally, I have a lot of chapters. Literally a lot, no joke. Literally no joke, I have a lot of chapters. This is like a 54-part story. But anyway, if you enjoyed that and you want to see more, which you will definitely get, because I'm not one to abandon a series anymore, unless I run out of motivation, in which case I probably will. Anyway, if you enjoyed the series and enjoyed the story, just hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the little bell so you don't miss a video. Leave a like, and if you want, leave a comment, and I will see you all next time. Bye, everyone!